You chose absolutely right tuning into Rwanda television tonight. A very good evening to you and many thanks for joining us on our edition. These are the headlines. Representatives of political parties here in Rwanda have expressed satisfaction with the partial results of the parliamentary elections. RPF Inkotanyi and Central African Republic's ruling CMU inked a party-to-party partnership agreement. A very good evening to you once again and many thanks for your company on Rwanda Television News tonight. And as we started off, let us inform you that on Wednesday afternoon at Village Urugwiro, President Paul Kagame received George Carlos de Almeida, the former president of the Cabo Verde and head of mission of the AU COMESA Election Observer Mission, and Kenya Chief Justice David K. Maraga, head of the East African Community Election Observer Mission, and their respective delegations as they conclude their mission as observers in the presidential and parliamentary elections that just got concluded here in Rwanda. In a joint statement, the international election observers commended Rwanda for a peaceful and electoral environment. And moving ahead to other matters, the representatives of political parties here in Rwanda have expressed satisfaction with the partial results of the parliamentary elections, acknowledging that the people have spoken concerning the matter of who they want representing them in the Chamber of Deputies, promising to continue working together to find solutions to the challenges the country faces in the struggle to develop.
This is the first time the Ideal Democratic Party has stood for election in parliament on its own without joining a coalition since being founded in 1991, and its officials have been thanking the general public for showing confidence in its candidates. As PDI, we thank you very much because we are now going to be in the parliament thanks to the votes we earned on our own, not part of our coalition. Thank you very much. This is an indication that we were properly guided when we were part of a coalition before stepping out on our own. Our time as part of a coalition gave us the opportunity to learn and show what we are capable of. PS Imberakuri, this is the third time the party has competed for seats in parliament, failing to secure any back in 2013 and then getting 5% of the vote in 2018, resulting in the acquisition of 2 seats, while this time around the party's officials are happy that the partial results are even more encouraging. We are very happy because as PS Imberakuri, this is a win for us, getting seats in parliament. We thank Rwandans for the confidence they have shown in our abilities. It means our manifesto was given value by the people and we intend to implement it to the best of our abilities, working with others, and anything else that they want us to advocate for, we will do it. This is the second time the Democratic Green Party of Rwanda has campaigned in both the presidential and parliamentary elections, securing 5% of the vote in the parliamentary race back in 2018. And this time around, the party's president has noted that the partial results are already very encouraging. Looking at the partial results, I am sure you noticed that the Green Party secured the confidence of Rwandans, collecting more than 5% of the votes and making it back into parliament, which we thank Rwandans for. We can say with certainty that these elections were prepared far better than last time. The Liberal Party, usually known as PAIR, according to the partial results, got more votes than any other party except the RPF Inkotanyi. And the party's president has expressed her determination on the continued road towards long-term development. Now our responsibility as parliamentarians, working with others in the Chamber of Deputies, is to ensure that the government's 5-year developmental plan is implemented quickly and effectively. The parties that supported the RPF's presidential candidate are also happy that the exposure helped to strengthen their own supporters' base in this election. For the father of the nation to appear before 500,000 people and ask that the coalition leaders of other parties stand up is an indication that he was demonstrating something to the people.
Navuga ko demokarasi imaze gushinga imizi mu Rwanda.
I can say that democracy has taken root in Rwanda, the democracy we chose as Rwandans based on our history, heritage and all that we want as Rwandans. That is something to be happy about. So far, only the partial results of the elections have been issued by the National Electoral Commission, with the provisional and final results yet to be made public.
International election observers in a joint statement have commended Rwanda for a peaceful electoral environment and diligent management by the National Electoral Commission. Adam Squizera brings us the details.
The observers came from the organizations including the East African Community EAC, the African Union, the Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa, COMESA, the Economic Community of Central African States, ECAS, and the East African Standby Force, plus the International Organization of La Francophonie, OIF. George Carlos Fonseca, the head of the joint AU-COMESA Election Observation Mission, and Mohamed Bashir Al-Kolmi, the head of the ECAS mission, in these elections, praised Rwanda for full financing its own elections, whereas they also appreciated the country's use of the cost-effective equipment and setting up polling stations in locations such as hospitals.
La mission reconnaît les mesures mises en place.
The mission recognized the measures put in place to enable electoral personnel and essential staff, including security agents that were on duty to vote on election day. The mission acknowledges the efficiency in the announcement of the results within the confines of the law.
Et la transparence de l'annonce des résultats conformément à la loi.
International d'observation électorale de la CAC a pu suivre la fin de la campagne.
The ECAS International Observer Mission followed the end of the electoral campaign, the political and electoral news of the country. The election mission took place in a calm and conducive political and security climate. No incidents or events likely to tarnish the elections were observed or reported to the mission.
De nature à déteindre sur le scrutin n'a été observé ou porté à la connaissance de la mission.
David Maraga, the former Chief Justice of Kenya and the head of the East African Community Election Observation Mission, noted that the electoral process was conducted in a calm and peaceful environment, highlighting Rwanda's uniqueness compared to other countries.
And we have seen some elections in some places which are chaotic. The rowdy, noisy, even to the polling stations on the polling day. That was not here at all. And my people gave me information from all the polling stations that there was no dancing, there was no noise generally, and it was very good.
The observers also commended the National Electoral Commission and the reasons for choosing the future of their country through the electoral process.
The electoral process was very orderly, very peaceful, very orderly. In fact, one of the best organized electoral process I've seen, especially on the polling day. It was commendable. And in our report, we have mentioned that. In the final report, we are going to mention that. The organization was super.
However, these international observers have many recommendations to the National Electoral Commission in their preliminary report, where they suggested the increasing of the campaign period for the candidates from 21 to 30 days to facilitate easier campaigning across all districts in the country. Adam Squizera, RTV News.
Thank you, Adams. Moving ahead, the Speaker of the Central African Republic, who is also the Executive Secretary of the ruling party Mouvement Kerizini, Simplice Mathieu, applauds how Rwandans voted their head of state by their own choice. This was said on Wednesday as the MCMU and RPF Inkotanyi signed a party-to-party bilateral agreement and cooperation. Prince Manzi brings us the details.
On behalf of the RPF Inkotanyi, the agreement was signed by the party's Secretary General, Weratz Kasamagera, and for the Mouvement Kerizini, its Executive Secretary, Simplice Mathieu. The agreement aims at enhancing development between the two nations and between the political parties, as well as in investment. Weratz Kasamagera, the RPF Inkotanyi's Secretary General, appreciates the efficient bilateral relations between Rwanda and the Central African Republic, as well as the ruling parties, adding that this is evident when it comes to security cooperation. Here, you are at home. You are welcome whenever you come to us. It is valuable to sit together as brothers. Everything we talk about, we do it for the benefit of our countries and the people of both countries. And I assure you that we are ready to continue good cooperation.
Et en même temps, vous assurer de cette disposition à rester en étroite collaboration.
Simplice Mathieu, the Executive Secretary of the Mouvement Kerizini, appreciates how RPF Inkotanyi's officials supported their candidate Paul Kagame, who won the presidential elections according to partial provisional results. Simplice Mathieu provided a congratulatory message and applauds how the elections were conducted.
C'est un satisfecit que j'adresse au peuple rwandais tout entier et singulièrement à son président.
I thank Rwandans at large, especially President Paul Kagame, who won the elections notably. I am very grateful to Rwandans. As the elections went on, I was here. I saw carefully at how the elections went. I saw how Rwandans valued the election process. I saw Rwandans happy and they felt the value of electing their leaders. Nothing affected the elections. There was no harm. When the votes were announced in the evening, I was not surprised. I clearly saw that the people supported their president. I had time to follow President Kagame's campaign activities. It was good and they were participated at a high level. The results were to be proud of.
C'était une ambiance bon enfant. Eh bien, tout s'est passé pour le mieux. Qu'est-ce que je puis dire?
The Speaker of the Central African Republic, who is also the Executive Secretary of the ruling party, Mouvement Kerizini, Simplice Mathieu, was one of the observers in the just concluded presidential and parliamentary elections in Rwanda.
The Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa, COMESA, launched a project aimed at accelerating the use of technology for further integration of the member states. Ketia Ineza brings us more.
The project of enhancing the use of technology integration for the member countries of COMESA was launched in Kigali, Rwanda, during a training session for different countries' technology institutions. Leonard Chitunda, COMESA Secretariat in charge of telecommunication at Lusaka, Zambia, explains the anticipated benefits of this project.
After this workshop, there will be some modifications. Then they'll adopt them as part of as a working document. And one of the aspects is that we had conducted a study on what their deficiencies and gaps in how they operate. So the outcome is that we are going to enhance their operations and the sustainability of their operations. And also we are going to, in terms of human capacity, we are going to impart some knowledge about the emerging issues, emerging technologies, emerging regulatory and policy issues.
The project, named as EGE ICT program, aims at supporting effective review and development of various regional policy and regulatory frameworks in a harmonized manner that will contribute to enhancing competition, improved access to cost-effective and secure ICT services. The Permanent Secretary in Rwanda's Ministry of ICT and Innovation, Iradukunda Yves, explains the benefit of this project for Rwanda.
The purpose is to validate the business models that enables the associations to operate in support different governments in member states on how they conduct business, on how they harmonize regulation within their countries, but also across the region. And they will validate the business models, but also have a training for the RICTAs, the regional ICT associations, so that they can continue to implement their programs in harmony across the different regions. So we hope after the training they can agree on some of the principles that will guide operations in their respective countries, but also in the region.
Through the project, the Common Market for Eastern and South African, COMESA, which consists of 21 countries including Rwanda and more than 600 million people, aims to benefit from the trade and investments in its member states. COMESA also plays a role in politics. For instance, the bloc sent its electoral observers during the just concluded presidential and parliamentary elections in Rwanda. Ineza Ketia, RTV News.
Thank you, Katia. Moving ahead, foreign nationals who live in Rusizi and Nyamasheke districts commended the campaign activities as well as the presidential and parliamentary elections that were conducted in complete peace and security. They also expressed their sentiments after partial results revealed that incumbent president and RPF presidential candidate Paul Kagame won presidential elections. Speaking to RBA, they commended the entire electoral process.
It was calm. I mean, absolutely calm, like a normal day. Even in the day of election, you hardly even see, you even know that there's election. In my country, you see a lot of people moving around, going to various polling stations. There's a lot of noise, you know what I mean? But here was very calm. I didn't even know where they were even voting.
It was so amazing. I found it as fair, and the elections were so fair, and I never observed any chaotic. It was so amazing. I could not imagine that this was election period because everything was so calm.
It's beyond my expectation. I know there is an election, but you know, people. There was also, I think, a campaign. How you know the election campaign. People were very happy. They were highly organized.
And they further expressed expectations after partial results revealed that incumbent president and RPF candidate Paul Kagame won the presidential elections.
Just progress, like he's doing. Just progress. I mean, the stability, political stability is here, so that allows businesses to thrive, especially foreign businesses. I'm working for, you know, it's a foreign company. So once there's stability, there's peace, a lot of businesses will come in and people will get jobs and the economy will also grow. And once people are making money locally, he also makes money with taxes, you know what I mean, and then the country keep developing. So, I mean, I just expect progress. Like, Rwanda still is intact, still being a sought-after destination for people to visit, and yeah.
I congratulate the president having passed through with the highest percentage, which was so amazing. So keep it up. We look forward for seeing the greatest leadership in the coming term.
So that means our collaboration and our friendship and our developmental partnership is continuing. So in the coming 5 years, I am sure you know, Ethiopian and Rwandan governments, they will establish more strengths and more economical developments. They will grow together. And then, you know, as part of Ethiopian citizen, you know, we are contributing to the Rwandan government, I feel, even if it's with the goodwill of Rwandan government. So our professional deliverables are not simple. So this thing, you know, we are helping, and then that means, you know, our relationship is continuing to be strong, and to bring more development and more partnership and friendship in the future. That's what I expect.
And that's all from us here at RBA's Rwanda Television News. On behalf of the entire news production as well as the technical team that made it happen, many thanks for being with us. And up until next time, stay safe and we wish you a safe and great evening. Goodbye.